Only 1/3 of Topgolf's money comes from people actually playing golf. Think about that. A golf company where golf is barely the business. The other 2/3, food, drinks, and corporate events. Topgolf makes more money selling nachos and beer than from people hitting balls. That's not a golf business. That's a restaurant that happens to have golf balls. Here's what makes this insane. The average Topgolf location pulls in $17 to $20 million a year. Some hit $28 million. A single location. Compare that to a traditional driving range, which might scrape together $500,000 if they're lucky. Topgolf isn't competing with golf courses. They're competing with Dave and Buster's. The whole thing started because two British brothers were bored. Steve and Dave Jolliffe, twins from London, sold their mystery shopping business in 1997 and were looking for the next thing. They went to a driving range one afternoon and thought it sucked. Just hitting balls into an open field with zero feedback. No score, no game, no reason to stay longer than 20 minutes. So they hired engineers to figure out if you could put a microchip in a golf ball. The engineers came back and said it was impossible. The brothers loved that answer. If experts said it couldn't be done, nobody else would try. They spent the money from their last business funding R&D to prove everyone wrong. Took years. Burned through cash. But in 2000, they opened the first location in Watford, just outside London. Target-oriented practice golf, they called it originally. The PGA wanted nothing to do with it. Golf equipment companies wouldn't touch it. The traditional golf world treated Topgolf like a gimmick. They weren't entirely wrong to be skeptical. The first venue in Watford wasn't exactly printing money. Investment bankers looked at the numbers and saw a 5% return. Nobody wanted in. Richard Grogan showed up in 2000. He visited the Watford location, saw the 5% return, and also said no. But something clicked. Grogan and three partners realized the problem wasn't the concept. It was the execution. The Watford location was tiny. No real food. No event space. Just bays and balls. They thought bigger. 3 to 4 times bigger. Full kitchens, restaurants, bars, event spaces that could host corporate outings and birthday parties. West River Group became the lead investor. Topgolf International was born. They picked Alexandria, Virginia for the first U.S. location in 2005. Close to Washington, D.C., lots of corporate clients. Seemed smart on paper. Business was slow. Real slow. Chicago was next. Also slow, Dallas changed everything. The warm climate helped. Dallas has golf culture baked in, but more importantly, they finally nailed the pricing model and the marketing. Within 6 months, Dallas had wait times stretching to 2 hours. People who'd never touched a golf club in their lives were lining up to get in. The numbers started looking different. Each venue costs $30 to $40 million to build. That's a massive upfront investment. But here's the thing. Traditional golf courses require huge amounts of land and take 5 hours to play. Topgolf fits on 10 to 15 acres, and customers stay for maybe 90 minutes. Climate-controlled venues mean weather doesn't matter. You can play in July in Arizona or January in Chicago. Same experience. The revenue split is what makes it work. Gameplay fees account for 29% of total revenue. Food and beverage is 33%. Events and group bookings make up another 34%. Merchandise rounds out the last 4%. Most customers spend $36 per visit, and they're not coming just to hit golf balls. They're coming to hang out. The golf is almost secondary. Topgolf figured out that 50% of their customers aren't golfers. They've never played a round in their lives. They're there for the social experience. The microchipped balls make it feel like a video game. You get instant feedback. Points flash on the screen. Your buddy's score pops up next to yours. It's competitive without being intimidating. And if you get bored with golf, you just order another round of drinks and watch the game on one of the TVs. Traditional golf completely missed the boat. Golf courses kept trying to make the sport more accessible by lowering green fees or speeding up pace of play. But the real barrier wasn't price or time. It was intimidation. Golf has rules, etiquette, dress codes. You need to know what you're doing, or you look like an idiot. Topgolf threw all of that out. Show up in whatever you want. Hit the ball however you want. Nobody cares if you've never played before. It's entertainment first, golf second. By 2016, Topgolf had enough momentum to start making acquisitions. They bought World Golf Tour, an online golf game, and ProTracer, the ball tracking technology you see on TV broadcasts. They renamed it TopTracer. That technology became a separate revenue stream. They started licensing TopTracer to traditional driving ranges. Now 750 driving ranges in 31 countries use it across 22,000 bays. Suddenly, Topgolf isn't just running venues. They're a technology company. Callaway Golf noticed. They bought a 14% stake in Topgolf through two separate transactions in 2006 and 2018. By 2020, Callaway's CEO Chip Brewer had been on Topgolf's board for 8 years. He'd watched the business grow from a weird British concept to a juggernaut pulling in $1.1 billion in annual revenue with 23 million guests. Half of those guests were 18 to 34 years old. Female participation was way higher than traditional golf. This was the demographic every golf company wanted but couldn't reach. Callaway made its move. In March 2021, they acquired the remaining 86% of Topgolf for $2 billion. It was an all-stock deal. The combined entity became Topgolf Callaway Brands. The pitch was simple. Callaway gets access to millions of new customers through Topgolf venues. Topgolf gets Callaway's equipment and brand power. They can cross-sell. Put Callaway clubs in every Topgolf location. Offer discounts on custom fittings. Slap Topgolf logos on tour players like Jon Rahm. It's a complete golf ecosystem. On course and off course, all under one roof. Wall Street loved it at first. By 2023, Topgolf's revenue hit $428 billion. The company was adding about 10 new venues every year. The math looked great. Each new venue generates $17 to $20 million annually. Operating margins were climbing. Venue-level EBITDA margins hit 33%. Some older venues were even more profitable as they aged. Everything pointed up. Same venue sales began dropping in Q3 2023. By 2024, same venue sales were down 9% for the full year. July 2024 alone saw an 11% decrease. Customers were pulling back. Inflation was hitting discretionary spending hard. Topgolf isn't cheap. A bay can cost $30 to $60 per hour depending on time and day. Food and drinks add up fast. When people tighten their budgets, entertainment venues are the first thing cut. The company missed Q2 2024 revenue expectations. Stock price dropped by a third in weeks. Callaway had paid $2 billion for Topgolf in 2021. By late 2024, the combined company's entire market cap was $1.69 billion, less than what they paid for Topgolf alone. Analysts started questioning the whole merger. Topgolf is capital-intensive and low-margin compared to golf equipment. Callaway's core business sells clubs and balls with way better margins and less overhead. Mixing the two created complexity without obvious synergy. Callaway announced plans to spin off Topgolf in September 2024. They explored options: spin-off, sale, private equity. Leonard Green and Partners showed interest. They're based in Los Angeles with $75 billion in assets under management. Their portfolio includes Zaxby's, Velvet Taco, Lifetime Fitness, and Troon Golf. They know the restaurant and hospitality game. The deal closed in January 2026. Leonard Green bought a 60% stake in Topgolf for $1.1 billion. Callaway kept 40% and received $800 million in cash after adjustments. They used $1 billion to pay down debt. The whole thing valued Topgolf at $1.1 billion. That's 45% less than what Callaway paid 5 years earlier. One of the biggest value destruction events in golf industry history. Callaway's stock dropped from $37 per share in May 2021 to $10 per share by late 2025. Meanwhile, competitor Acushnet, which owns Titleist and FootJoy, saw its stock price double over the same period. Callaway is changing its name back to Callaway Golf Company, dropping Topgolf entirely from the corporate name. They're refocusing on equipment and apparel. Callaway, Odyssey, TravisMathew, Ogio. Those brands generated $2 billion in revenue over the last 12 months. That's the business they know. That's where the margins are. Topgolf was an expensive experiment in diversification. But here's the twist. Q3 2025 numbers showed same-venue sales turning positive for the first time in 2 years. Traffic growth resumed mid-year. Venue-level margins improved 400 basis points. Topgolf became free cash flow positive in 2023 and stayed that way. The business isn't dying. It's just not the growth machine Callaway thought it would be. Topgolf operates 100 venues worldwide. 65,000 people visit them every day. The model works. People love it. But scaling a business that requires $30 to $40 million per location in upfront capital while fighting economic headwinds and changing consumer behavior is brutal. The genius of Topgolf's business model is also its weakness. When times are good, venues print money. When times are tight, customers disappear fast. Callaway bet big and lost. Leonard Green is betting they can fix what Callaway couldn't.